Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're deconstructing a radical corporate shift that could really signal the future for all of us. We're talking about a company that fired 40% of its people, not because things were going badly, but because AI completely broke a fundamental rule of business. Okay, let's dive into this. So it all started with this one number, 40%. In early 2025, the tech company Block, the folks who run Square and Cash App, made this pretty drastic decision to cut its workforce by over 40%. But listen, this wasn't just another tech layoff. This was something different. This move was totally strategic, and it was based on a new reality. According to Block's leadership, a rule of business that's held true for decades was suddenly broken, just shattered. So what happened? What exactly broke? Well, for generations, companies believed that to do more, you just needed more people, right? More engineers, more managers, more staff. That was the formula. But Block believed that AI had fundamentally and permanently severed this link. I mean, this very idea has shaped how companies are built, how they're managed, and how they're valued. But what if one or two people, armed with the right AI tools, could suddenly be 10, 20, or maybe even 100 times more productive? To get how this happened, we gotta rewind and see what the catalyst for all this was. Now, this whole decision wasn't some overnight impulse. Block had actually been working on internal AI tools for a while, like this agent harness they called Goose, since early 2024. But then came a specific moment that just accelerated everything.
Look at how fast this all moved. In late 2024, new AI models came out that were just incredibly good at working with complex existing code bases. It wasn't a small step up. They called it a binary change. It was like a switch was flipped. The potential for a massive, massive leap in productivity became undeniable. And you can see the executive team spent the whole next quarter just asking themselves, okay, what does this mean? And by the spring, they had their answer.
So this is the crucial point here. This whole reorg wasn't about trimming fat or getting rid of bloat from operational teams. No, it was a strategic amputation right in the engineering departments, precisely the place where AI was having the biggest impact. Okay, so how do you even begin to redesign a massive public company around AI? Well, Block didn't just make cuts. They went and rebuilt the entire organization from the ground up. And they started with a few core principles. What's really interesting here is how it shows their priorities. This wasn't chaos. It was a really deliberate, principled-led reconstruction. First things first, reliability. Make sure there are absolutely no outages or disruptions. Then, step 2, protect trust and compliance, especially with customers. In fact, their compliance team was largely untouched. And only then, with that foundation solid, did they focus on durable growth with these new, smaller, more efficient teams. So, what does it actually feel like to work at the new Block? Well, the day-to-day reality is dramatically different. Let's see how things are really being built now. First off, the meeting culture was just decimated. We're talking an 80% reduction in meetings. This gives employees time to actually build and do their work. The hierarchy was also flattened out a lot. About half the management layers on the development side were just gone, all to speed up the flow of information. And this, right here, illustrates the biggest shift. An employee's job is no longer just about doing the work. It's about becoming a manager of a fleet of AI agents who are doing the work for you, all at the same time. You're like a conductor of an orchestra of AI. So the company now operates in these small, flexible squads, and they're using this powerful suite of internal AI tools, things like Goose, which is kind of an agent harness that can manage other AI models, and BuilderBot, which is an autonomous agent that can build features almost to completion on its own. This whole setup just compresses the time it takes to go from a simple idea to a live product for millions of people. It's insane. This internal transformation is radical, for sure. But the ultimate goal is to build a new, much more powerful competitive advantage, what we'd call a new moat for the business. On the product side, this means they're moving towards generative UI. So imagine your Cash App looking and feeling completely different from mine because it's being proactively configured by AI to meet your specific needs right in that moment. No more one-size-fits-all apps. So while the old moats, network effects, distribution, all that, they still matter, the ultimate long-term advantage is changing. It's no longer just about who's the biggest. The new moat is all about who has the deepest insight. What Block is aiming for is to become an intelligent system itself. The goal is to create this feedback loop where the company's deep understanding of its market is fed into these AI systems that can build and test new ideas literally thousands of times a day. The story of Block's big reorg forces a really critical question for every single business leader, every employee, every founder watching this. What is the unique insight, the signal that your organization has? What do you get that nobody else does? Because in this age of AI, that insight is your most valuable asset. As Owen Jennings puts it, if you can't answer that question, you risk becoming completely irrelevant. You might just get vibe coded away. And that's the big takeaway from all this. Thanks for watching.